It's only going to take a couple seconds.
I have to watch The Bachelor.
Welcome to another episode of Reacts. My country-loving and Swiftie wife Hannah is going to be reacting over a song that she's never heard before, and we're going classic rock with this one. Jimi Hendrix, All Along the Watchtower.
Oh my gosh. Sounds like aliens taking over.
Slay, Jimmy, slay.
Slay, Jimmy, slay.
So, what do you think?
Yeah, that was pretty okay.
It's pretty okay.
Yeah, I was kind of vibing with it. The end, there was this weird stuff happening instrumentally towards the end, but it was and I don't know what it's called, but whenever in the mix they're sending things prominently from side to side.
Oh, they're panning it?
Yeah, panning, that's the word. I don't like that feeling.
No?
I don't like it being
kind of gives a call and response. You don't like that?
Oh, that's not, I don't feel like that's what he was doing. It was almost like you know how people slide down a piano? That's how I felt it was.
It felt like it was sliding from one to another.
Yeah. All the songs you show me are anti-radio friendly.
I'm pretty sure that was probably on the radio. That was a short song.
I can
that was
see that
less
on
than
a rock station or whatever kind of music that is.
It's a fairly short song. Do you want to know an interesting fact about it?
Sure.
Will this make you have some more respect for it, maybe?
Sure.
The great Bob Dylan actually was the one who wrote that and recorded it originally.
Oh, so that's just a cover?
Yeah.
Oh, I respect it less then. Why wouldn't you show me Bob Dylan's version?
Because basically Jimi Hendrix is known for this song. He basically in a similar way. Well, no, he's not a thief, but in a similar way that
So this version is more well known than Bob Dylan's own. He put out a version too.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's didn't the Chicks do that with
Landslide?
That's
true,
right? So don't be so judgmental
no,
about
I'm
Jimmy.
not. That's fine that you can do that, but I just respect it a little bit less.
Do you respect Landslide a little bit less that they didn't write it?
Well, I didn't. I actually grew up thinking that the Dixie Chicks wrote Landslide.
It's true.
Until high school, I was like, oh, who's Fleetwood Mac?
Who's Fleetwood Mac? This is sacrilege. Who's Fleetwood Mac?
I'm just kidding. No, but I was like, oh, I didn't realize that was their song.
There's a lot there. I think that happened a lot more. It is kind of weird. The music industry has changed quite drastically, but that happened a lot more back then.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like there were quite a few, especially in the country scene. I noticed just listening through some and reading up on certain songs in country is that there's a lot of people in the country scene that would write a song, perform it, and then somebody else would come in and cut it, and it would be their version. But I guess an example is what's his name with Fast Car.
What's his name? The great Luke Combs, you mean?
Luke. With Fast Car.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Did you lose respect for Luke Combs?
No. No, I just mean that because obviously Tracy Chapman I think had her moment with that song. And obviously the world is different now and social media is a huge player, and so Luke Combs' version is doing big and new things, but I guess it's just for me, my perspective on it is that I've listened to Tracy Chapman's version growing up, and so Luke Combs' version is nice, but it's I know that that's Luke Combs' version of Tracy Chapman's song. When I listen to this song and I'm oh, that's cool, but then you're well, it's someone else's song he's just covering, and I'm oh, that's less cool. Sorry, Jimmy, you still slay, but and it's hard for me to imagine Bob Dylan's so great. It's hard for me to imagine that Jimi Hendrix would do a version of this song that was more popular, more well received.
Yeah, well, and I'm pretty sure Bob Dylan's version is all harmonica. It's not Jimmy does all that on electric guitar, and
definitely
Bob
he
Dylan
was
is much more singer-songwriter, harmonica.
Yeah, I probably would I'll have to listen to that version after because I probably would like it better.
Yeah, you might.
I'm not here for the super experimental stuff at the end, but that's kind of a bop. He's got a cool voice, and I liked the little guitar solo breaks after the verses.
He is known to be one of the greatest guitar players ever.
Nice. Way to go, Jimmy.
He would make the list probably in the top 50 or 20.
Is he still alive?
I don't think so. No.
Sad. Rip. Yeah, like I said, I think it was good. It was okay. Good, not great. To quote The Office.
Mm-hmm.
Good, not great. And I think that it was short, so that was good. And it was interesting, so that's good. And lyrically, that was interesting, although I can't give those props to Jimmy. So
did you think before I said anything, did you think like much of the lyrics or?
Yeah, I was like, oh, these are like, I feel like so this is my big beef with like a lot of the other things you've shown me is that I can't like focus on the lyrics because it's like thrashing, terrible sounds in my ears. But I felt like this was nice enough that I could pay attention to the lyrics and they were good. So, but that is a credit to Bob Dylan. So. Can't give that to Jimmy, but I don't know, I'd give it a 6.5.
6.5? That's pretty good. You gave LCD Sound System a 7, so.
Yeah, and I like this a little bit less. I actually like it a lot less, but I feel like I can't give it less than a 6, because.
Because why?
Well,
what did you give?
Kanye got a whopping 0, or like would I give him a 0.5?
Yeah, you could give it a 6.
No, I'll do 6.5.
Okay.
I feel like I'll just maybe up LCD systems to 7.5.
You can't do that.
Or sound systems.
Just joking. We should get up.
What?
Bobbies.
I already like it better. This is so much better. I can't believe you're telling me that Jimmy's version was more popular. Yeah, his little riffs are even better, I think, than Jimmy's. Hot take. It just was so much more like tasteful. Like I think having it on a more acoustic level, I like just my personality would be more in that vein. And then his voice is way better than Jimmy's.
Which is kind of funny because like Bob Dylan is a decent singer, but he's not like a crooner by any means. Like he's got a lot of character in his voice, but he's not like.
You think Jimi Hendrix is a better singer than?
No,
Bob Dylan?
I'm just saying that like.
Oh, I would just say comparing those two.
Voice is really bad.
No,
Jimmy's voice.
You're saying Bob Dylan doesn't have a good voice?
No, he does have a good voice.
I feel like you're gonna get attacked in the comments now.
His
Hot take: B-side creations. Tyler Sears thinks that Bob Dylan
you don't
isn't.
Even know what my channel's called.
B-side content creations. Tyler Sears thinks that Bob Dylan doesn't have a good voice. So, officially crown me CEO of B-side creation from now on, and we will just be reviewing Taylor Swift songs from here on out.
Ew.
Anyways, Bob Dylan's version much better. I wish you would have played me that one. I would give it like an 8.5.
Do you downgrade Jimi Hendrix now that you've heard Bob Dylan's?
Yeah, I don't want to downgrade it anymore. I feel like I need to leave.
You've poo-pooed all over it enough.
Excuse me? That's so rude. No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that I feel like Bob Dylan's version is so much better. So it's hard to imagine that Jimi Hendrix got more recognition for that song.
Yeah.
I think my taste would gear towards more of the sound of Bob Dylan. And I already like Bob Dylan. I've never listened to Jimi Hendrix in my life. So
yeah. Well, and that sound that Jimmy was like what he was doing was becoming like obviously also Bob Dylan, they were both really popular, but like that sound that Jimi Hendrix was bringing was becoming like more mainstream, that classic rock, and then it led into like the hair bands, like all those rock bands like Led Zeppelin and AC/DC and et cetera. So I think it was becoming more popular. So there was an aspect where like, and also he was known to be an exceptional guitar player. So that as well, like those things kind of all came together. And he actually played his guitar upside down because he was a lefty.
Well, I know somebody that does that, so that's not that
so
special.
whoop-de-doo.
Yeah. I can basically do that.
Yeah, you can do that. I'd like to see it. Okay, so the verdict is Bob Dylan is better than Jimi Hendrix.
For sure.
In your books.
Yeah, I mean, is that going to be a hot take, or are people going to disagree with that? I feel like Bob Dylan is the king.
So. I think that Bob Dylan is considered to be one of the best artists of all time.
I know. That's why I can't believe that you
top
think
5,
his voice
probably. He might even be on people's number 1 list.
Well, definitely. Are you kidding?
Well, I don't.
Not yours,
I don't think
apparently.
he would even be on a top. Do you think he'd be on a top 10 or even a top 50 list of best singers.
You think Jimi Hendrix would?
No, I'm just saying that Bob Dylan wouldn't make a list.
Okay, answer this
like
right
that.
now. Who is in the number one spot of vocal performance when you listen to those two songs back to back?
I haven't heard Bob Dylan's in a while, so probably Bob Dylan though, because I'm not a huge fan of Jimi Hendrix's voice either.
Then stop arguing with me and let's call it a...
No, all I was trying to say is that Bob Dylan, I just thought it was funny because also Bob Dylan isn't known for his voice alone. He is in the sense that it has a lot of character.
I can't believe you're literally trying to argue with me. I'm like, this is a win for the team. This is a good review. And you're like, oh, really? You think Bob Dylan can sing? Oh, my gosh.
You got to bring controversy.
Well, you're bringing it this time, not me. So
that's right.
Y'all come for him in the comments this week. All right. Well, that was this week's episode of React.
Wow. So you're just ending it? How do you know it's over? What if I want to keep going?
This is my show now. This is my channel now.